Got another one of those big ass BGW300C power amplifiers. This is the powerhouse. Can put out up to 750 watts in mono mode, about 240 per channel in stereo. And this one was hot as hell. And I don't mean hot as in stolen, I mean it got hot as hell. So we had a problem with the cooling system on this one. We're going to investigate and see why this thing's overheating and see if we can get it back up and running. So I got this big brute of a amplifier. This is the BGW model 750. No, this is not the same one that you've seen before. The other one had a different fan put in it. This one's got the stock fan, and the complaint on this is that he doesn't feel the fan's working properly. So we're going to pop the top off this unit before I do anything and just let this thing power up and see what it does. Now the complaint was that the owner, he left it running all night but not playing any music, just left the thing turned on. And he said the fan came on and it sounded like a jet engine firing up, and it scared the hell out of him. And the unit was hot, like very hot. So we're going to check out the fan and the temperature control circuitry. See, the other fan, I changed one of the fans on his other amplifier. He's got two of these amps. And I changed the fan on his other one a while back because it was so loud. So let's just check this out. See if this thing, this does. Now this thing requiring the kind of power this unit requires. I'm going to plug it directly in to my wall outlet without going through my isolation transformer, just because this thing's going to draw a lot of power when it first charges up, and I don't want to blow any fuses. I just did. You see, I told you the thing draws a lot of power when it fires up. I tripped the breaker. Try that again. See if I'll trip the fuse again. There we go. So the fan is not turning on this unit at all right now. This is charged up. There's a lot of voltage across these transistors. Keep your fingers out of these ones, because between the collectors, it's 153 volts. So sticking your fingers across those two would give you a good jolt. I just want to monitor this thing and see whether it heats up. He said it got very hot. Now these units don't have much, if any, ventilation until the fan kicks in. See, the top is a closed top, so they don't ventilate at all until the fan comes on. Normally this top sits on this unit like this. So there's no ventilation. Let's look at the schematic to see how the fan's connected. Pin number 3, which is neutral. Pin number 3 is connected to our fan. If we look down here, we'll also see that pin number 3 is connected to the yellow of the transformer. Here, I haven't drawn it in, but the neutral for the transformer goes to pin number 3, yellow here. So that would be connected over to here. Neutral. My pen's not writing now. Great. What else is new? I'll do it in the highlighter. Okay, here we go. Perfect. Yellow goes up to number 3. And of course my yellow pen's not working. What else is going to fail here today? Try another one. I gotta get some new highlighters. Okay, our pin number 3 here. Yellow connects to neutral right there. And it's neutral's also connected through to the fan. Whoops. Well, you know what I mean. Yellow, neutral. Anyway, the hot side We'll do this with a black one. I'm looking at the camera monitor, that's why I'm messing up here. Our black is here, and it goes up, and this is our hot, right? And that goes over here through our circuit breaker. Through our circuit breaker here, ends up over here on pin number 4. Pin number 4 ends up at the orange lead to the transformer, but there's also a jumper in here that takes pin number 4 up to pin number 1 right here on the terminal block. And you'll notice that the terminal block here, I'll go with my highlighter again, takes 2 paths. One goes through R4 back down to pin 2 or pin 6, which goes into the fan. This provides a slow speed. It also goes through these 2 switches here. These 2 switches are on the amplifier block, so that if the heat gets to a certain temperature, either one of these switches will kick in and will provide the full power, 120 volts, down to the fan. So I have a feeling that this resistor here, R4, 300 ohm, 20 watt resistor, has gone open, and that's why the fan isn't working. Because the owner said that he got the thing sitting all night, he forgot and left it turned on, and when he was down in his rec room, and all of a sudden he said it sounded like a jet engine firing up, because the amplifier just idling had gotten hot enough that it kicked into full speed. That's what I think is wrong on this. I got the power off now, but this thing's still going to have some charge on it. I was just letting it warm up there to see if it was going to get warm. And it is getting warm. Let's see which ones of these, which switches are the ones that detect or turn the fan on and off. So I'll just depower the unit. We'll just look for which switches are open. That switch is closed. This switch here is probably the one that's open. I think this is probably the fan temperature switch right here. Yeah, that switch is open. So that's the temperature switch that turns the fan up to the high speed. This other switch over here, this is the cutout. So if this one here, see, this is a closed switch, this is an open switch. This is a secondary cutout. If the temperature gets beyond a certain temperature, it'll shut the power off completely. So these are the switches that control the fan speed, and there's 2 of them here. Well, they're connected in parallel. You got our power coming up from the fan. It's going to the 2. So in other words, if I put a jumper across these, this fan should start at full power. Let's just do that. And now the fan's completely off. Let's check our voltage across the switch. AC voltage. Okay, yeah. So that resistor's open, because we shouldn't see 120 volts across there. We should see something less than 120 volts, because there should be dissipation across the resistor. So let's find that 20 watt resistor. Won't be hard to find. It's going to be huge, but it's going to be open. And then I'll have to get a 20 watt resistor. For that matter, we might find that this one's disconnected. That might be why the fan's not working. We may find that the resistor in here has been disconnected to shut the fan off, because some people would find the fan sound annoying even running at slow speed. It wouldn't be the first amp that I've ever come across where somebody has disconnected the fan so that it won't run at a lower speed. Because they know that if once it starts to get hot, it's going to kick into the high speed anyway. I don't know which side that resistor is going to be on, but it'll be in here somewhere. There would be the big 20-watt resistor. I'll unplug one side of it here, if I can. Okay, let's get my meter down there and measure. I bet you will find that this is open. So ohms. Yeah, it's open. That's why the fan's not running at the lower speed. Could they have made it more difficult to get to? It's the second to the bottom terminal that I got to get this other side of this resistor off. So there's the old one. 300 ohm, 20 watts. That's what it's supposed to be. 300 ohms, 20 watts, but in reality, it is infinite, open. That's just skin resistance you see there. 13 mega ohms. Open. Get a new one. Soldering the end back on. The new one. Okay. 310 ohms, I think that's close enough. Okay, now the fun part. Let's get this thing back down here and in place. Okay, that resistor is in place. We'll connect the amplifier back up. Put the mounting screws back in. Probably going to leave you guys disappointed because I'm not going to hook this up, because the amplifier, it does work. It was just a fan issue, so there's not really any point in connecting it. As there's no issue with the amp itself. The only issue was the resistor. The fan wasn't working at low speeds. Now the fan will come on at a low speed and it'll probably be too loud for him, and he'll want me to put a computer fan in like he had me do on his other amp that's a twin to this one. But let's turn it on and make sure it works. Probably blow my lights again when this thing fires up. Oh, it doesn't. Okay, there we go. And the fan is on. Can you hear it running? I can hear it running. But that's what it's supposed to do. If I put my screwdriver in here, you'll hear the... See? Fan's running at a low speed. The whole idea behind this is if the amplifier gets to a certain temperature, then the fan ramps up like this. Of course, if the music is pounding, that's pretty loud. And then when it cools down, it drops back down to the low speed. That's how these ones are supposed to run. If your BGW amp is not doing that, check that resistor, 300 ohm resistor. It's just in series with the fan to slow it down at slow speeds. Thanks for watching.